Hello and welcome to the Biomass Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Anna Simet. We are here live at the International Biomass Conference and Expo in Nashville. With me, I have Steve Napolitan and Sebastian Nigrelli from WastAway. Steve and Sebastian, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's my pleasure. I think to begin, let's have you guys tell us what and who is WastAway.
Well, so WastAway, we're a technology where we take municipal solid waste and then we can actually convert it into a stable, pathogen-free feedstock for many different fuel providers. So, we work with technologies like anaerobic digestion to make, renewable natural gas. We can also make a coal replacement, solid fuel. So there's many applications. Sorry, my headphones are slipping off there. Anyway, so we make a lot of different fuels off of that. So our main thing is to convert that municipal solid waste into a stable feedstock is the main thing that we do.
Okay.
And for us, so I'm Steve Napolitan, the CEO of the company and leading all of our endeavors. And I have an amazing team and I brought one of them with me. Sebastian is one of our engineers, and so that we can get a little more technical if we want to today.
Yeah, and we're just here pretty much in your backyard here in Nashville, right?
Yes.
How far is your facility?
So we're about 90 minutes outside of Nashville.
Okay.
So not far at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. So who do you guys work with? Who are your customers or your partners?
It's more or less threefold. One, anyone that has municipal solid waste. So a lot of municipalities, other small haulers, and we divert the parts that are recyclable. So it's not 100%. But we're taking as much as we can to make fuel, right? Whatever the best parts of that are. And then the second part is then we work with those technology providers. So, whether it's an AD company for anaerobic digestion, or if we're working with someone to do pyrolysis and make diesel fuel, and if we do the solid fuel, we have our SE3 product we can do ourselves. And so we can take our cellulose out of our system and make a coal replacement product. So then we have the third part is the end users. So a fuel buyer or putting into a pipeline. So anyone that needs that energy source, that would be our third partner.
Okay, so you started to get into it a little bit.
Yes.
Tell us about how the WastAway system works.
Sebastian, you want to take that one?
Sure. So we have three sections. And the first section is our sorting line. So the MSW comes in.
And it comes in bags.
Yes, just your black bag, normal garbage that you would throw out.
Yep, okay.
It comes in, and we have a series of shredders and machinery that sorts it out into different sections. So it sorts it out into the recyclables, such as the valuable plastics, the metals. It sorts it out into the undesirables, PVC plastic, rocks, glass, dirt, stuff that we really don't have any use for. And the rest is biogenic carbon content, such as food, paper, a little bit of film plastics, but mostly all the stuff that really has the energy in it. And we really focus on that. Whereas most sorting lines optimize for recyclables, we optimize for that fuel, for that energy content. And so we take that fraction of material, the food, the paper, some of the film plastics, and we put it through our patented process, the cellulator. And what it does is it homogenizes it, it sterilizes it, and it comes out as a clean, safe to handle, stable material that works really well as a feedstock for biofuels. So that's the second part, is the cellulator. And the third part is the technology that takes that material we call cellulate and turns it into the biofuel that the end user desires. There's you can just dry it and use it as a solid fuel. You can turn it into natural gas using anaerobic digestion. You can turn it into liquid fuels. So the possibilities are endless, but that's how it works.
Yeah, we don't even know all the fuel applications at this point. More
Right.
people are still coming to us. The main thing is the feedstock. So, yeah.
Yeah, so my next question was about the different types of fuel that can be made. Anything else you want to add about that? I mean, what's that? It's called cellulate, the
Yes.
material?
So, yeah, because like cellulose, we're basically speeding up Mother Nature in a way. So we're taking what is already a carbon-based material and we're taking away all the parts that we don't want so that we can just have that natural state again and then use it as all these different feedstocks. And so the amount of fuels that we can do, I say endless. That's probably not exactly true, but we don't even know all of it because we're even talking to people about aviation. I think the thing to note is when we're talking to these providers like pyrolysis, anaerobic digestion, and our partners there, the thing that they struggle with, their biggest challenge, is not having a consistent, stable feedstock. That's where when you're working with RDF and you're literally working with garbage, it's 1 week, and I never thought I would say this, but in our industry, you say we have good garbage and bad garbage. So like 1 week you could have this great garbage and have a great
Wow.
fuel, and the next week your garbage isn't the same because people aren't throwing the same thing away or wherever
Right.
you're sourcing it. So with our cellulator, turning it into that cellulose, now it's consistent. We've even had some tests that we had some of our material for 7 years in our warehouse, and it kept the same BTU. So it's
Wow.
that stable, and that's where all these partners and why so many different fuel providers and technologies want to partner with us, because we can give them that exact thing that they need, which is that consistent, stable, pathogen-free feedstock.
Right.
Yeah.
So I should have asked this first, but where did this technology come from?
Well, so our background has been in innovation since the beginning. So our holding company that started in 1959, some inventors in Tennessee here, and they focused on the nursery and arbors and different orchards, and where they were coming to do mass production, they started bringing in automation and machines. And so back in 1959, they started automating a lot of farming. And through that, they also then got some military options. And the military said, what are we going to do with our garbage? And so they actually inspired our company to start looking at inventing this. And so then they put their heads together like they always do, our team of engineers. And now we're generational coming out. It's Bolden and Lawson is the original company name, and the
Okay.
last Bolden just retired March 1st. So we have been all the way until this March with the same family. So it's been amazing. And so then this technology came through. It's kind of a long story around that, but that's how we invented this process. And then now it's been about how do we apply this technology to so many different things. It wasn't always this way. At first, it just went to compost because they were working in the nursery industry, so it made sense. Let's take trash and make a soil amendment, which we did do. But then we realized there's so much more opportunity with fuel. And so that's what inspired us to take it to another level and make something. So the goal in the end is to take what no one wants,
Yep.
waste, and make something that everyone needs,
Yep.
fuel and energy.
Totally. So I know trash-based technology can sometimes get a bad rap. Just, people don't really understand it. They think it's bad. Biofuels release emissions when they're used to make energy. So are they actually a green and sustainable option for the future? What would you say?
I'm going to let my engineer here tell you that
Okay.
in a good way.
Sure, that's a great question. And so with biofuels in general, the issue with fossil fuels is we're taking carbon that's been locked in the Earth's crust for 100 million years, if not longer.
Mhm.
We're digging it up, and when we burn it for power, we're releasing all of that carbon into the atmosphere that wasn't there before. Right? All this new carbon is now in the atmosphere when it wasn't before, and that's what's causing a lot of the issues that we're starting to see today. When we grow a crop for a biofuel, tree, corn, sugarcane, whatever it may be, that plant is taking carbon that was already in the atmosphere, already taking part in the carbon cycle. It is storing it along with the sun's energy. Then when we take it, we turn it into a biofuel, maybe like renewable diesel, and we burn it for energy. We're harnessing the sun's energy, and the carbon that's being released was already in the atmosphere a year ago, 20 years ago, but it was already taking part in the carbon cycle. So in that way, yes, absolutely, biofuels are a sustainable option because we're not introducing any new carbon. With our technology specifically, well, most of the garbage is actually biogenic. It's made of carbon that was already there in plants, food waste, etc. But garbage and that kind of material that goes to a landfill will release emissions that are way worse than normal carbon dioxide, like methane, which is anywhere between 20 and 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So through our technology, we're not only saving the space from the landfill, we're actually preventing those more harmful emissions from being released while capturing the energy that would have otherwise been discarded. So absolutely, biofuels and our technology are 100% sustainable and a good option for the future.
Well explained, Sebastian. So super cool that you guys are letting some of the attendees here come out to your plant and check things out tomorrow. Anything else that you guys want to say about WastAway or the technology?
I think it's just really exciting times from my perspective that we're taking the most useful parts of the municipal solid waste stream
Yeah.
and making a fuel. And so again, I know I'm echoing this again, but we're taking what no one wants, right? Waste. Like literally the definition of waste is that which is not wanted, right? Discarded, and then making what everyone needs, which is all these energy sources. So we're just really excited to continue to apply our technology with partners so that we could expand the different fuel sets. So definitely looking to expand on that. And I think other than that, it's the main thing is our stable feedstock, which also lifts everyone up here at Biomass, because then we can help create more stability in all these fuels. Those are things, I guess it's more not adding, but echoing. Like
Right.
the biggest highlights for me being at a show like this. Sebastian, is there anything that you think you'd like to add?
No, we turn garbage into biofuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast and chatting with me. And
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a great show.
Well, I appreciate it. And if anybody wants to get to know us,
Yeah.
just to clear, it's WastAway.com, and it's WastAway without an E because we were founded in Tennessee, and Tennessee took all the E's. So that's why we couldn't fit it in. But so if you just take the E out, WastAway.com.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. WastAway.com, folks. This is Steve and Sebastian from WastAway. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time.